1 minute, you're dancing in front of the stage at a Grateful Dead concert, in your cutoffs, halter top, and no bra. The next minute, you're gazing out your living room window, wondering what birds are going to stop by today. Oh, hey there. It is time for me to make my next batch of Haielle yogurt, which I love. I have it almost every night. And so many of you have asked me how I make it. And so today's the day. If you go on to YouTube and type in Haielle yogurt, there's about 3 million videos on people who make it and how they make it and why they make it. Today, I'm just going to be sharing how I do it, why I do it, and a few tips and tricks that I've learned that have made it a lot easier for me. My way is far from the only way. There are tons and tons of videos over on YouTube, and I would really suggest that you watch a few because it's going to give you a little broader understanding of how different people do it. This is just how I do it. First of all, I want to talk about the fact that you can do this. I know sometimes, and I do it too, where I feel like, oh my gosh, maybe I've had a very busy week or just a lot of stuff going on, and I think, I do not want to learn one more new thing. I just don't. But what I can say is this is really, really easy, and I actually do it now without really even thinking because I've been doing it for quite a number of months. I think I started making this yogurt this way when I moved to Oregon. So it's been about a year. So you can do this. There is a tiny bit of learning in the beginning, but once that's done, it really is quite easy. And the health benefits of Haielle yogurt are extraordinary. What the yogurt does is it really, really improves your gut health. It has billions of little goodies that are going to end up in your tummy that are going to make your life and your body function a lot better. For details on that, I'm going to refer you to Dr. Davis, who, as far as I know, really started the Haielle yogurt craze, and he came up with a really easy way to make it with these little capsules. He's a wealth of information. I won't go into the health benefits in detail because he does it so well, and he's a doctor and he can talk to all the little technical things behind it. I really love my Haielle yogurt. First of all, it tastes delicious. It has a unique flavor, and I'll kind of describe it like brie cheese. When you've only eaten cheddar cheese all your life or Monterey Jack cheese and you try brie cheese, wow, it just seems really strong and you're not sure if you like it. And before you know it, you're craving brie cheese. That to me is what Haielle yogurt is like. It has a different flavor than the regular yogurt that I get at the grocery store, but I'm really kind of hooked on it. It's a more complex flavor. It's deeper, it's richer. It's really, really yummy. So those are the reasons that I eat the Haielle yogurt almost every single night. And I have it with different fruits and a little bit of honey and some pecans. And I'll show you guys all that at the end of the video. So let's talk about what you're going to need if you decide you're going to go down the Haielle rabbit hole and get started. And it's really not much. And the things that I purchased for this, I still have. I haven't had to replenish them at all. So first of all, you're going to need a yogurt maker. I know that a lot of people use the stovetop or some other way of doing it. I have found the yogurt maker to make it so very easy. And you know what? These are not expensive. They're really not. And I just purchased mine from Amazon, and I'll have everything that you can order from Amazon listed in the description box down below. So this yogurt maker, I'll show you the inside right here. And it's not a heavy piece of kitchen equipment. So it's not as though you have to lug something heavy out of the cupboard. It's really quite light. This is a plastic fitting in the inside, and then the heating unit is down underneath. And all the dials that you need are right on the front. And my experience has been that pretty much since I've done my first batch, the settings got really easy. In the beginning, I was like, I couldn't figure it out, and I was pushing buttons and it wasn't working. Now it works every time, and I'm not sure if it got smarter or I got smarter or what happened. So this is the little container that actually heats up your ingredients, cooks them for 36 hours, and then you're good to go. When you order this yogurt maker, and see the little lid just goes on top right like that, it comes with 2 covered glass containers, and this is what you'll actually make the yogurt in. So I make 2 very full containers every time I put together a batch, just because I don't want to have to do it over and over again so quickly. I want it to last a long time. One thing that I do, and you'll see this at the end of the video when I put my little fruit and yogurt bowl together, is I will use about 2 tablespoons of the Rebounds with some organic, plain, unsweetened whole milk yogurt that I get from the health food store, and I'll mix them together. Why? Because what Dr. Davis has said, and I'm not even sure which video I heard this on, but his position is that you need about 2 tablespoons of the Rebounds to really get that good gut health going. So I put in a little more than 2 tablespoons in my fruit bowl at night, and that makes this last longer. Now somebody's going to say, if you do 2 of these containers, how long does that last you? Well, for everyone it's going to be different. I'm the only one eating my blend, so mine probably last, oh gosh, 2 or 3 weeks, the 2 containers. And what I'll do is I'll just go through the first container, wash it, put it in the cupboard, and then go through the second container. And once this is empty or close to empty, I will take out the last little bit of yogurt, put it in a smaller container, wash the second container up, and make my yogurt. It takes about 36 hours, so about a day and a half, to make the yogurt, and then I like to put mine in the refrigerator, get it nice and cold for my fruit bowl that evening. So count on about 2 days. So I like to make sure that I get started on my next batch before my last batch is completely gone. So this is the yogurt maker, and again, I'll have this listed in the description box. It's not expensive, so don't worry about that. The ingredients for the yogurt itself, you're going to need heavy whipping cream, and I have 2 of these containers today. I usually get organic heavy whipping cream, which is spendy. It is. The store that I was at when I was buying this round did not have that, so I just went ahead and got what they have. So heavy whipping cream, and it's my understanding that half and half is just not going to work. I have never done it with half and half. I didn't even try it, but from what I've seen of other people who make that and put their shorts or their videos on YouTube, it doesn't really work. So you're going to want heavy whipping cream, and I like to get plenty so that I can fill each container up all the way, and I'll still have some left over, but I'll just use it in my coffee in the morning. So this goes over here. For Rebounds itself, I get the little capsules, and this is the Rebounds in little capsules, and my understanding is that this is Dr. Davis's blend. So here's the little capsule right here, and that has all the goodies in it that are really going to positively impact your gut health. So it comes in a little container like this, and I just keep this in the pantry. And then the other thing you're going to want is inulin. This is the thickener, and this pack is going to last. I'm going to probably will this to my daughter. There's so much in here. You only need a tablespoon, so this bag is going to last a long time. I purchased this off of Dr. Davis's website, and I'll have that listed down below, and the inulin came from Amazon. So that one was pretty easy. Let me go get the tablespoon measuring spoon. I didn't get that, so I'll be right back. So those are all the ingredients that you need. And my experience is you don't go through the ingredients except the heavy whipping cream quickly. Most of it is going to last a long time. Before we get started making the first little container of the yogurt or preparing it, I want to share with you just a couple of little tips and tricks I've learned over the months. First of all, I am not in any way in my life a germaphobe. I'm just not. I actually think all those little creepies out there in the world end up supporting my immune system, because when I'm exposed to them, my immune system builds up defenses and I get healthier. So I'm not a real germaphobe person. There are people who double and triple sterilize their containers, do an incantation, twirl around 3 times and bless it. All that stuff. I don't do that. I wash it and put it in the cupboard. So that's exactly how I handle mine. I don't worry about sterilizing. I just go ahead and wash it, put it in the cupboard. I don't use these for any other reason. So I just do it that way. And if you want to sterilize them, you go girl. It's just not what I do on my end. Another tip I want to give you is when you do it. I always put my yogurt together. In other words, prep it and put it in the yogurt maker, which I've moved over onto the counter, between 6 and 9. Now that can be 6 and 9 in the morning or 6 and 9 in the evening. Because it takes 36 hours in the yogurt maker, that means it's going to be done between 6 and 9, either in the evening or the morning, a day and a half later. The reason I do that is because I am pretty much always home between 6 and 9, regardless of whether it's in the morning or in the evening. I usually head off to bed around 9:30, quarter to 10, so I don't want to put this together any later than that, a day and a half earlier, because I'm going to be in bed when the timer goes off, and you really do want to take it out of the yogurt maker and put it in the refrigerator when the timer goes off. So between 6 and 9 is when I always do mine. Right now it's about 8:30 in the morning, so I know it's going to be ready 8:30 tomorrow evening. I'll take it out of the yogurt maker, put it in the refrigerator, and it'll be ready for me the next night for my yogurt and fruit. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I make it, and it is really super easy, and once you do it a few times, like I said, you don't even have to think about it. The first thing I'm going to do is take one of these little arugula capsules, and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to make sure that all that powder in that capsule, both sides, goes into my little glass container. These can just be thrown away. And then I'm going to open up my inulin, and I'm going to take a tablespoon of that and put it in the yogurt container. Then I'm going to take a fork, and I'm just going to mix those powders up. Because I want that inulin and the arugula to pre-mix before I put any liquids in there. It just helps, to get it all mixed up. Now that I have the powders pretty much mixed up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a slurry. I'm going to put a small amount of the heavy whipping cream into this bowl. Once I get it open, got a little bit of Fort Knox going on here. So I'm going to pour just maybe like a couple of tablespoons into the yogurt container. You can see it right here. And I'm going to mix that around and make a slurry. And my goal here is I want a smooth little mixture where all the solids are dissolved into that liquid. And what that's going to do is it's going to help to distribute the arugula and the inulin throughout the liquid in the container. So this is going to take me a few minutes. It starts out just a little bit clumpy and gets a little less clumpy, and then pretty soon it all pretty much dissolves in. You will notice that the slurry gets a little bit thicker as you're mixing it around. And if you don't get all the little lumps out, don't worry about it. It all blends in eventually. You just want to make sure that the slurry is a good mixture of both the arugula and the inulin. Okay, so here's my slurry all mixed up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly add the rest of the liquid and just keep blending that so that all those little goodies for the gut are mixed in really well into the heavy whipping cream. So I'm continuing to stir while I pour in the rest of the whipping cream. And you can see it's pretty much going to take most of that container. There's just a small amount, maybe, a quarter to a half a cup left in that container. So I'm just going to continue to stir. Just make sure that's nice and mixed in. It's my opinion, based on just my experience, that having the really thick, rich, full yogurt is dependent on getting all those little ingredients mixed in throughout the initial mixture. All right, so there we go with that one. Then I'm just going to put the lid on. I'm going to do the next bowl, and I will meet you over at the yogurt maker, and I'll show you how we get it going so that we have our next batch of Rebounds. So here are my 2 containers in the yogurt machine, and I just put it on the counter, and that's where it's going to sit until it's done. So the first thing that we need to do is put water in here, and what I do is I just add hot water so that the machine itself doesn't have to start from scratch heating that water up. So I have all the water in, and you can see I have it almost to the top of the container where the lid meets the glass. Not all the way up, because I don't want any water to seep into the container while it's cooking, but pretty doggone close. Then I'm just going to put the lid on. Now I'm going to set the temperature and the time. So I'm going to hit the temperature button. It's going to go automatically to 108. And then I'm going to set the time. It starts at 8, and I'm going to want it to go up to 36. So I'm just going to keep hitting the button, and then I'm going to hit start. So that's going to go for 36 hours, and boom, I'm done. That's all it is. It's really that easy. And don't worry about remembering the temperature or the time. All those instructions are in the yogurt maker little instruction book when it gets there. So that's going to be cooking for about a day and a half. And now we've got some errands to run. So we're just coming off of sugar season, right into flu season. And you know, I heard someone make a comment the other day that is it really flu season, or is it just our body's response to all that sugar over the holidays that really impacts our immune system? And I thought, you know, that's a really good point. That might be the case. So we do the sugar thing during the holidays, and then we have to detox from all that sugar, or we keep at it. And I get the sugar thing. I mean, I can get caught up in that like nobody's business. And I literally live 4 minutes from freshly baked organic sourdough cinnamon rolls right down the street from me, which are so good. And that's like my weakness, those cinnamon rolls. Oh my gosh, I did have a couple during the holidays, but I've been staying away lately. So what do you do? Well, one of the things that I have found, and you guys saw this when I was shopping, is dates. Dates are really good for you. They have a lot of wonderful nutrients, and they really do kick that kind of sugar craving if you've got the sugar craving. I actually keep these in my refrigerator all the time, and it's called the Jewel Date Company, and I have not checked to see if you can get this off of Amazon. But I would much rather, and you would much rather, pick them up from your local health food store. Anytime we can shop local these days, so much better. So these are really delicious. This is 100% organic dates and almonds, and they're date rolls covered in little chopped almonds. They're really good, and I will have one of these after my meal. I'm pretty much 1 meal a day person, not because I'm trying to lose weight. I wouldn't mind losing 5 pounds or so, but that's just about all I can eat. So I have 1 meal around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's my main meal. And I try to get as much protein in that meal as possible. And then I will finish off with one of these little date and almond rolls. They're delicious. They're really good. So check your local health food store if you're interested. If it sounds kind of good for you, it really does kind of hit that sweet thing that sometimes you want after a meal. I really do love them, and I keep them in my refrigerator all the time now. So let's talk about organic fruits and vegetables. I know that's such a hot topic, and oh my gosh, have you guys seen the price of groceries lately? It's crazy. It's crazy. In my opinion, they have mislabeled the whole fruit and vegetable produce section in the grocery store. It reads right now, you know, just the regular vegetables and fruits, and then there's a section called organic. That is actually incorrect. It's mislabeled. What it should be is the organic should just be the regular fruits and vegetables, and the ones that are drenched in poisonous toxic chemicals should be called chemical vegetables. Honestly, it is ridiculous the amount of mind programming they have had to do to get us to accept our produce literally drenched in cancer-causing poisonous toxic pesticides. I mean, you have to give them credit. It was a brilliant plan, and it worked. But they do need to change the labels. The ones that are soaked in pesticides need to be called chemical, and then the organic should just be regular. Here's a memory from my life. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother when I was growing up. They lived very near us all during my childhood, and my grandma pretty much kind of raised me. She had a garden my entire life. I grew up picking fresh tomatoes out of the garden and cucumbers and casting coffee grounds over the soil to feed it. I have memories of sitting on the back porch plucking chickens with my grandmother. That woman would have been horrified if someone had tried to spray that food she was growing for her family with toxic chemicals. I mean, I'm sure that she is looking down now, just stunned and amazed at what we're eating. Not only are groceries super expensive, but our produce is covered in this toxic stuff that my grandmother would have been horrified at. And here's the kicker. Here's the thing that I just shake my head in disbelief. Oh, you wanted fruits and vegetables that aren't coated in a toxic, poisonous, cancer-causing pesticide concoction? Wow. That's going to cost you. That's going to cost you. They charge us more for the organic fruits and vegetables. That just, it is so convoluted. We are living in an inside-outside world, upside-down world. When you look at the price of organic fruit, it's high. I mean, all food is high right now, but organic fruits and vegetables are really high. Very, very expensive. You know what's more expensive? Healthcare. They've managed to make that more expensive. So I do spend the money to buy organic fruits and vegetables. And I buy pretty much organic across the board because I don't want those chemicals in my body. There are enough chemicals out there in the world without us actually eating the chemicals. I generally buy just local grass-fed, grass-finished beef that, you know, are hormone-free, that whole thing. So I eat a lot of protein, and I get my chicken that way too. So I eat a lot of protein, and then I eat some vegetables, and I eat a lot of fruit. And the fruit that I get is organic, and it's expensive. But here's a little shopper's tip. If you look up the Clean 15 on the web, and I'll have the link for the Clean 15 down in the description box, they have a list of vegetables and fruits that they call the Clean 15. Those are the ones that have the least amount of toxic, cancer-causing chemical pesticides that they're going to just soak your food in and tell you it's safe, which is, I don't know. I don't know how we all fell for that. I just really don't. So the ones that you can get that you don't have to buy organic, and I don't buy organic when I know that particular item is not sprayed. They're just not going to waste the money on it if they can get away with growing it easily without the spray. So it's avocados, pineapple, papaya, mango, kiwi, bananas, and watermelon. I have watermelon just about every day in the evening during the summer. So if you're out shopping for fruits and vegetables and you see those, know that you don't have to pay extra for their organic, because they're going to jack up the price of the avocados even though they don't get sprayed. So I just go over to the chemicals section of the grocery store and pick up my avocados. Pineapples are fine. I love pineapples on my yogurt in the evening. That's a really, really lovely way to have it. I have blown through all those fabulous persimmons, the organic homegrown persimmons that I got from a local lady. They were so delicious. I went through 2 big batches of those, and those were absolutely lovely. If you're interested, make sure you click on the link for the Clean 15 so that you'll know which you can buy, you know, chemical from the chemical section of the produce market. And here's an idea. What if we all complained? What if all of us complained to the store manager and the produce manager and said, you know what, you're really lying with this labeling. You're really lying because that over there, that's the chemical fruits and vegetables, and we would like them labeled appropriately. So my timer just beeped, and you can see it says 0 hours right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that lid off, and you can see there's a lot of moisture from the steaming of that yogurt. And there are our 2 containers. And I'm just going to simply slip them out of the yogurt maker and put them in the refrigerator. And then I'm going to bed. So this is how I start my day, at least during the colder winter months. In the summer, I'll already be out on the lake, most likely most mornings. So I sit here and drink my coffee, and I have my little coffee warmer plate here. I have a few of these, keeps my coffee warm all morning long. Lucy's right here. And of course I'm crocheting, which, is what I do during the winter. So look I'm working on a little tote bag. Isn't that cute? And I'm going to go a little higher here and then add handles. And then this one, I finished this last night. Isn't that cute? I really like the colors on this one. I just need to weave the ends in. So I think I'm kind of on a tote bag kick right now. That's what I'm doing. I already have in my mind a colorway and a pattern for the next one. This is how it goes. So what I want to talk with you guys about now is my assistant. And I'll tell you what, I love my assistant so much, so much. And I'll tell you the story of her. She's been with me now, oh my gosh, for several years. I think we started working together when I was living in South Reno up by Lake Tahoe. And I found her on a Facebook group for virtual assistants. And the whole thing started out just wonderful from the beginning. I saw that she was taking on new clients and I contacted her, and she's been with me ever since. It wasn't the kind of thing where I had to keep going through people to find a good fit, which for me was so wonderful. She is just terrific. And I'm going to tell you the things I love about her, and then I'm going to tell you why I'm telling you about her, because that's important. Here's the deal. She is a busy person. She is a wife and a mother of 3 young kids, and she still has the time and the patience to work with me on all these little screwy parts of the business here of running a YouTube channel. And I actually have 3 channels here on YouTube, and she's helped me with all of them. And I have a website, studiokimberly.com, which is kind of on vacation right now because I'm just settling in from moving. She helps me with all of that. Here is what I love about her so much, and it's a long, long list, but I'm going to give you a few key points of why I am so grateful for her. First of all, her brain works different than mine. She is so good at the detail-oriented tech side, solving problem side, reading all the fine print side of everything, skills that I do not have. Truly, there are things that I would spend all week and then on Friday end up crying because I still hadn't figured it out. And she figures it out in like 25 minutes and sends me an email that says done. She's just wonderful. The second thing I love about her, I love all of it, but this is one thing that just continues to blow me away. I will say to her, I've got this issue. This is the result I want. I have no idea how to get there. I don't even know who to contact or how to get started with it. And she'll go, And then I don't hear from her for a few days. And then I get an email back that says done. I'm like, what? She just continually amazes me. She's such a problem solver. She doesn't pepper me with questions or whine that she can't figure it out or all that stuff. She just takes care of business. She is so good, and I am so grateful for her. And I fear the day that she quits. I really do. I told her she can't quit. I get to retire first, and then she gets to quit. So anywho, how does our relationship work? Well, that's really interesting because I found her online and we have never met in person. She lives in one of those cold wintry states. She's moving to a little warmer state pretty darn quickly. We just connected online and she works remotely. She's called a virtual assistant. And we communicate mostly via email. Every now and then we'll send texts back and forth. And maybe once a quarter, we'll have a Zoom call when there's something that I want to work on that needs more explaining than just an email. So we just work remotely with each other, and it absolutely couldn't be better. She is, in my mind, the perfect virtual assistant because she just handles things. and she handles it so smoothly, and she gets in touch with people, and she's super professional, and she understands all these ins and outs of skills that I just don't have. And if I tried to do them, they would take me 10 times longer than it takes her. It really is a beautiful relationship. Plus, she's really sweet. She's just a really good person. The reason I am telling you all this, and I have a reason, and some of you are absolutely going to love this, is she just finished an online class about being a virtual assistant. And I cannot think of a person who is more qualified to teach a class on that than her, because she just has the skill set of how to work with someone who's really busy, which I am, and is more of a different kind of thinker than she is. She just is so good at it. And I imagine that what she's teaching in that class is just going to be the best, because she really has nailed it when it comes to figuring out how to be a great support person for someone that's got this really multifaceted business. I knew that she was putting together the class, and when I heard about it, I said, you absolutely have to let me know when you're done, because I am sure that a lot of my viewers, you guys are probably, a lot of you are like her, that you have that really efficient, organized brain, and you did it for 30, 40 years in a workplace, and you were just the best at it. And have all these wonderful skills on board that would make this a perfect opportunity for you. And given the fact that everything is so much more expensive now than it was, it's just gotten crazy. There might be some of you who would love to have a little part-time gig and don't necessarily want to get out of your jammies and leave the house, would love to just do it remotely online, and that's what CARE does. So our relationship is really wonderful because it goes so smoothly. And how it works is we each have weekly tasks that we do, and we just do those, on our own. There's not a lot of conversation. Every now and then I will ping her with a little special project of something new I'm doing, or she'll ping me and say, hey, I cleaned out your email inbox. Here are the things that you want to deal with. It really has been such a gift to me, because I could not do all the things that I do without her, or I would be crazy. Or I would have quit a long time ago, because it's so much. It is surprising how much goes into being a full-time YouTuber. And I don't just have this channel, I have a couple of other channels, and she's helped me and managed those wonderfully. So here's the culmination of that. If you are one of those incredibly skilled women who did it forever in the workplace, and you would like to just do a little something on the side for someone, get something interesting to do, make some extra money, just have a nice gig that you can do out of your house in your jammies with no bra on, which is a plus right there, you might be interested in her class. I have her class listed down below, and get this, I asked her if she could give a discount code for you guys, and she did, and it's $100 off. And I looked at that and I went, wow. So it's $100 off, and I can tell you, if every virtual assistant was as good as CARE, it would be wonderful, because people like me who are independent, who work out of their home, who just need a little bit of help, oh my gosh, it is such a godsend, and you could absolutely make someone's day if you were available for them. So her class is listed down below. It's all about being a virtual assistant, and I'm sure that she's going over how to find clients, how to work with clients, how to manage your day, the skills that you're going to need, how to organize it if you've got a few clients. She is so thorough, and she's worked so long on this class that I'm sure it's absolutely fabulous. I didn't take it. You know why? Because I have the skill set. No, I don't have that. I do things like this and talk on camera. That's what I do. So it's listed down below. I'm sure it's going to be marvelous. If you're interested, $100 off is really, really generous. The price of the class is really reasonable for what you get already. And with that discount, It's really such a deal. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. If you do end up taking the class, let me know, because I know other people who work for themselves and could love to have an assistant. And you just never know the connections that will come from that. All right, so love you, Care. Thank you so much for sharing the class with my viewers and for the lovely discount. I think you guys are going to love it. So the yogurt has been in the refrigerator overnight. I just take it out and stick it right into the refrigerator. And I have 2 of these large containers now. And I know you guys are going to wonder how long it lasts. I think this is probably going to last me 3 weeks, these 2 containers. So what I do is I actually mix the Ilruderai yogurt with some probiotic whole milk organic plain yogurt from the grocery store. And why do I do that? Because this makes it last longer. Dr. Davis says that you need about 2 tablespoons daily to keep that good bacteria going in your gut. So that's what I put into my bowl of yogurt and fruit in the evening. And you can see, look at this. It's fabulous. It is thick and rich and creamy. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And it has a very distinct flavor that I've really come to absolutely love. And I just want to tell you that not every batch comes out perfect like this one is. And you can see we have the curds and whey here because there's liquid in it too, and that's the whey. And then the yogurt part, you can call that the curds. So I will put in about 2 tablespoons of the store-bought yogurt into my bowl, and then I'll put about 2 tablespoons of the Ilruderai yogurt on top of that. Drizzle some honey over, local honey from, just a local person that does it, because when you get local honey, those bees are going to produce honey that are going to help you with all the pollens that are local. In other words, it's going to help keep any inflammation in the environment around you because the bees are pollinating with what's in your area. So that's why you really want local honey. So I'll put about 4 tablespoons total, sometimes a little bit more if I'm feeling extra peckish, in the evening. So I'll have my big meal around 1 o'clock, and then around 7, I will have my yogurt and fruit in the evenings. So I'll put about 4 to 5 tablespoons of yogurt in the bowl, drizzle a little local honey over it, and then put fruit on it. So tonight I will have pineapple, and I have some mango and some blueberries that I'm going to put on my yogurt, and then I top that with organic toasted pecan halves and pieces, which are delicious. I get mine off of Amazon. I'll have those listed down below. So the yogurt is lovely. It's really, really good for you, and it's delicious. And if you end up making it, make sure that you let me know. Either put it in the comments down below or send me an email and give me your thoughts. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. It just makes my day when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. I'm less than a year from being 70. How about that? Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.